Okay, part two of fixing the charger connection. I'm not going to go over everything because I'm assuming you watched part one. But anyway, these two prongs got fried. There's two wires here, the red and the black wire that I tapped into on the terminals down in there. See those two terminals there. And I just put some crimp connectors, the little forked, crimp connector ends, and ran it up to this new plug. I put this new plug in. So anyway, I put a little RTF around here, a little silicone around there just to keep the moisture out because this O-ring was just too fat. I didn't like the way it was sitting in there. Couldn't tighten it down good, so I just used some silicone. I think that'll be fine. And then I got the other plug, the female part of the plug, which will just plug right in there and screw on. Nice, really nice connection. It wasn't that expensive. I got it at an electrical parts store instead of your Home Depot or whatever. They didn't seem to have what I wanted, so I went to a commercial electrical supply store and got this. And so anyway, I got that plug in there nice, and right here where this plug, so you can see the two bottom ones got cooked there, so I just clipped them off. I'm just going to abandon those. I got the two wires there. I'm going to solder and then put some of that shrink wrap stuff on there, heat shrink, and hook it to this plug. And then we'll just use a new plug for those two wires. And the other thing I'm going to do is there's a little fuse box, if you want to call it that. It's usually in the back there, right below the solenoid, and it sits in there. It's got this cap on it. It looks like that. You got to pull it out. It's got one of those things that you kind of destroy getting it out, or at least I did. But it's got three 20-amp fuses. I'm going to change the middle fuse. That's the one I think that is for the charging, for the output on the charger. These two center wires, I'm just going to cut those. I'm going to put an inline fuse. I'm going to use this same type of fuse, but the bigger one, just because I think it can take a little more heat. It's the same amps, but I just think it'll withstand the heat a little better. Anyway, I was told to do that. This isn't my idea, and I was told by somebody who seems like they know what they're talking about, so I'm going to do it. And anyway, but just the center one, not all of them, just that center one, and I'll show you that when I get to it. Okay, so I'm hooking up my wires here. The best way to hook these wires up or solder them, I put on some shrink tube here to just to protect them a little better. Got my handy little torch here. Just to protect those. So you don't have to solder the ends together, solder these together, but probably smarter if you do. Okay, we've got our plug on. Got that all wired in. So this plug here is for those two wires. It's cooked on this thing. And the rest of these are all still hooked up. We just, like I say, abandoned these two wires, cut them, and made us a new plug here. So we're going to get the charger, get it back in there, get it plugged in, and we'll be good to go. Okay, so we got it in there. So don't do what I did. If you happen to you remember that plug was really long, the new one I put in, and I thought there was plenty of room, and there almost was, but there's a little support bar right there that I had to put a notch in. I'm not even going to show you because I don't think we can see it. But anyway, just make sure when you drill the hole for that new plug, it stays that way a little bit more than I have it. You just got to kind of look, and there's a big opening in there for it. I just got it a little bit too forward, and I had to notch a little bit. And anyway, just something to watch for, but probably your plug won't be this long like mine was. Anyway, we got it in, I plugged it in, got it all in test mode, and I don't know if you can see the green flash there, but it's working. And obviously before I was getting the six red flashes. And then I put the new fuse in. What'd I do? Forgot what I did, and I got it to go down to 2 red flashes. But anyway, whatever you got, if you pull the plug out and it's all burnt like mine was, this is probably what you need to do, is put that new plug in. And I'm still going to change this fuse here and get the inline fuse, and I'll show you that when I'm done with that. But other than that, we got success and saved what they wanted, at least $1,000. Well, they were going to put a new charger in, and the shop, and plus the new plug with the harness. They said they can't even get the plug anymore. I don't even know what they were going to do, to tell you the truth. I don't know if they would have ended up doing something like this, but regardless, that new harness is like $850 too. And if they were to get a new plug and just wire a new plug in, it was just going to do the same thing. It might take a couple years, but it's going to burn out again. So, because it's just too small, the plug pins are just too small, and the wires. And so anyway, hopefully this will fix this for a while. Okay, we're all ready to go. This is in. I'm not going to lie to you. This nut back, that bolt back there, unless you got really long, thin fingers, it's a hard one to. You can get it out easy enough. Getting it back in is kind of a pain, but anyway, not too bad. So I got that bolted back in. All my plugs, both plugs are in. I went ahead and I changed that. Like I told you I was going to do, I changed the inline fuse. So this middle fuse is doing nothing anymore. I just cut those 2 wires in the center there, and they're just taped up inside there, doing nothing. And then the ones that were coming to those now go through this inline fuse here. So I just put one of those bigger ones. I think it can withstand a little more heat, and that's what I was told to do. So I know they make a kit for that. I'm not sure what it consists of, but we're going to try that. So that fuse now is just actually an extra. I could put it back in the fuse box in the front, or I'm just going to leave it there. So I'll put that cap back on there, and we should be done. That should be it. And put my other cap back on, this one, and I'll lift the bed and get that tucked back in its hole. So that's it. We're done. It's charging. Seems to be working. And the fix, let's see what it cost me. About $15 for the plug. A couple more bucks for that inline fuse. And I think that's it. $20. $20 fix. If you got time. I don't have a lot of time, but I got time to save $1,000 for sure. So anyway, that's it.